Hi guys, Puppies here. A quick note before you start listening to the cast. I made the rookie mistake of forgetting to turn off my stream notifications before we started tonight, and as best I tried, I couldn't get rid of them in post. So throughout this week's episode, you're going to be hearing special appearances from Scooby-Doo, which is great. Apologies for the inconvenience and the interruption. I'm really sorry. I'll make sure I turn them off next time. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the cast and have a fantastic week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 64 of Two Left Thumbs, your source of gaming news and updates. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about a Starship Troopers game, 10 new projects that are coming with the announcements at the Game Awards, Halo reaching new records. I screwed up my own pun. Fucking brilliant. Sony Studios won't be making any cross-generational games, and all about the last state of play for 2019. And as always, we will have all the weekly deals across all gaming platforms for you. I'm Deft Puppies. Joining with me here today is Gray. Dude, how are you?
I am fantastic. Just
excellent.
Another day. What about yourself? Day.
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a busy week. I've got a lot going on where we're moving states to Queensland, so that's hectic. Trying to find jobs and houses and find the right schools for the kids, and oh my god, it's nuts.
Yeah, so moving is such a pain, especially when you're like, not only you're moving, but you've got to find new work and new school for the kid, and you're going to a different state, and
it's all kinds of fun and stress. So to start today's episode off, we have So some not so great news, but we want to get this out of the way so we can move on with the episode and move on with things. A few of our astute listeners have reported in, and you guys may have not have noticed that Static hasn't been around the last few weeks. Now he let us know last week or the week before that he will not be coming back. He's got too many priorities with life, family, and work. And he just wants to step down from the cast because he can't really commit the time that he feels is necessary to help the cast out. He was going to try and make it tonight, but unfortunately, other commitments got in the way. So we'll be losing a Static. He may come back for the occasional appearance. We're not sure. That depends on what happens in the future. But great.
I'm sure he will come back. It's sad losing him. I mean, he's between, him and Dawn at Dan, they started this podcast. You obviously came on, and now I've come on. So, we're going to move forward with it and try and keep this podcast going because I love doing it. I think it's awesome.
It's great. It's
fantastic. The people we've met and the things that we get to talk about and the communities that we've formed just around this from what those two guys started, just about, all they wanted to do was get together and talk about video games, and that is essentially all we do every Sunday night. It's just get together and get to talk cool stuff to you guys to listen and watch along live. So we do have some other things though that we want to move on with the podcast in sort of different ways. Puppies, you can explain kind of what we want to go through and do moving forward?
Yeah, so the plan is we've got to get through Christmas and stuff, so we're going to be fairly busy. But as of next year, the cast will still be doing its thing every week, every Sunday. But every couple of weeks, we're going to get a special guest on. Now, that may be someone from the community, fellow content creators we know. We're hoping we can maybe talk to a few developers and people that work in the industry and get them on as well and get their unique perspective on the things we talk about here, and kind of get a bit of a view in on their kind of daily lives as well. So that's the plan. We're still kind of figuring out the finer details of that, but yeah, it should be good. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun little step forward for us. I think
it's gonna. I reckon it's gonna be awesome, man. Because every the rough plan is for every 2 weeks we'd want to have a new community member or someone come on as a guest to co-host the podcast. It's not going to be anything different per se. It's going to be standard format that we've kind of worked over now, just with a new perspective there, and another fresh look, which I think that's awesome. And I'm like, we've already asked. We've got some mixer partners and YouTube partners and indie developers. We've got some people already lined up that are very keen to come onto the podcast. So, and that's awesome because we're getting a look into their world and what they do with gaming.
Yeah, I think that'll be really cool. But if you guys have any suggestions for people you'd like to see on the show, either join the Discord, let us know there, or hit us up on Twitter at LeftPod. Both links will be in the show notes, of course, as always. Let us know if you'd like to see anyone on. Tag them, tag us,
or even if you want to come on yourself.
Yeah, we'll get in touch with us. We're open. We're open to suggestions at the moment. We're forming new territory here, so it's going to be an interesting ride, but it's going to be a fun one, I think. So, yeah, it'll be good.
That's the goal. That's next year.
That's next year.
We're going to be kicking off one of our first casts next year. Is what we want to do. Is move into that rhythm anyway, and get it all sorted. But like you said, the rest of the year we'll continue on. You and me pushing through candlelight intimate moments, talking about the latest in gaming news.
I should totally get a candle setting for the middle where the chat
is.
Yeah. Starting with intimate moments with puppies in grey. So how's your week in gaming been this week?
Right. Well, this week, so whenever I go to do a video for YouTube, as people know, editing on the YouTube thing can be pretty tedious, especially depending on how much effort you really want to put into it. It can draw out a long time, and for me, my gaming time is generally obviously in the evenings once duties are done, kids are asleep. So to try and squeeze in game time and YouTube editing and just general getting videos ready can be a time sink. So that's what I have been doing this week. I bit the bullet and decided I needed to get what I'd been working on for Death Stranding. I needed to get that out. It's not a review. It is and it isn't. It's because I've enjoyed the game so much and I think it's a very important game. It's more of I don't know, more of just an opinion piece on it, I guess, with sort of review clustered into it. It'll make sense when you see it, but anyway, I'm editing it heavily. Might be one of my last videos for YouTube for the year before I go, because I'm going away for a few weeks, so we'll wait and see.
Yeah, so it's more of a commentary on the game and your opinions, mostly.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for those who don't know, it is my game of the year, so...
For those who haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm sure everyone has. It's just my thoughts on what the game does so well, and some of the things it does wrong. But other than that, the Switch, man, fuck, I love this. I love that little console. It is so handy.
It's great, isn't it? I'm really looking forward to really using it while I'm moving, because there's going to be a lot of traveling. I mean, when I'm not driving, I'm going to be having that thing out and just busting through some games.
Oh man, it is so good for that. So every year I try and go back and redo a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
From about 6 onwards. I don't go back prior to 6, just because they're pretty outdated now. Yeah. So I always try and do that. Normally I always end up playing 7 again because I just love that game so much. But this year I was sitting here and I was like, okay, all the big games are done. I don't really feel like playing some monster AAA game that I haven't played this year, which I don't think there really was many. Gears, I was looking at finishing off Gears. And I was like, looking on there, and Steam's like, oh, there was Dead Space for like $5. I was like, fuck, I love Dead Space. I haven't played it in so long.
Oh, Dead Space
I can
is
sit
so
here and
good.
do that. But then I was like, it's PC, you know, I've got to sit here and it's like, I just want to chill. I don't want to do stuff for YouTube. I don't want to do anything for whatever. I just want to play a game just for the sake of enjoying it. So I grabbed the Switch. I was like, I wonder what games are on here, like Final Fantasy was. They've got them all.
Oh,
like,
nice.
This is insane. I didn't know they had every single one of them. I knew they had a couple, but I thought some were still tied over to PlayStation. So I went and got Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age, the remaster of it, which I think the original released at the end of the PlayStation 2 era. So it's old, but the remaster version came out like last year, I think, year before maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Loving it. Absolutely fucking loving it, man. It's
Nice.
I don't know. It's just I've played all the Final Fantasies, every single one of them ever created. I've played them, even like Tactics and all the weird ones from out of Japan. 12, I only played once. The others I've played multiple times. Some Final Fantasy 7, I think I've beaten nearly 15 times.
Oh wow!
So and it's a big game. So that's how much I enjoy that series.
Sizable game.
Yeah. So when I saw this on there, I was like, man, I've only played it once, and it never really jived with me at the time because, and it's funny because going back and you play a game like this now, you see kind of where the devs what they were thinking back in that stage, like in that time frame. So graphically, it's, you know, it works. It's fine. You know, it's nothing flash what you're going to get now. But mechanically, it's really good. And it just holds up really well. So
nice. That's pretty good, though. I mean, how old's the original 12 now?
It was like one of the last ones on the PlayStation 2.
Oh, yeah. It's got some age to it. It's holding up well now mechanically. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's also interesting because it was the first Final Fantasy game to not have turn-based combat, which is a big thing.
Yeah,
big thing outside of the MMO. So, and back then a lot of people didn't enjoy it because it didn't really work. But the bones that you see there are what we get now in like 15 and a lot of other action games like that, with the monsters being on the overworld, like Pokemon has just recently done putting the Pokemon in the overworld. You know, it's cool to see, but I'm loving it, man. It's a long game. It is huge. I'm only just starting at 5-6 hours into it, and it's exactly what I wanted to play at the time I want to play it.
Very nice.
What about yourself?
Me, man, I've had a week. I've played a few games this week, actually. I'd finished up Star Wars last week, hadn't I? Trying to remember where I'm up to.
No, you were talking privately, and you're up to the end.
That's right, yeah. So yeah, I finished Fallen Order. Really fucking enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It was fucking amazing. That I won't say anything, but the end sequence is totally fucking badass.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey,
but it was shit because I had it moderately spoiled for me, so I kind of knew something was coming. Thanks to some certain retail stores in Australia that sell games on their YouTube advertisements.
I told you it was on YouTube and Twitter. They fucking spoil the ending of that game. I know,
it's so
infuriating.
But I mean, it doesn't spoil the whole sequence, but it spoils. Anyway, so avoid most ads for the game because for some reason. Anyway,
don't watch a trailer for it.
Totally fucking badass. I loved it. I was like geeking out so fucking hard. It was amazing. But yeah, so I finished that. And then since I had Premiere, I had a look at Need for Speed Heat. That lasted a grand total. That lasted a grand total of an hour.
So this is where we need static. Damn it.
Well, see, the thing is, I love my Need for Speed games. The last few, like, I mean, a few that haven't been great. I was like, oh, this one looks a little better. And I got in and I was just like, all right. First car, I chose the Beamer for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Anyway, it was slow and shit. So I got myself a faster car. Going, okay, the driving felt a bit heavy. So okay, we'll try a faster car, and it felt better. But they've gone for that kind of really like pseudo realistic driving. So it's closer driving wise to what it is on Forza. What I really liked about Need for Speed was the like the really zany, stupid things you could do in the cars.
Yep.
It was like you could fly yourself sideways, and it was fun to do. Whereas it's if you don't have the car tuned right, you can't do that. So you have to have different tunings to different settings, and that's fine. I know that ticks some boxes for people. For me, I was just like, ugh. So I did a couple of races, and I got to the main mission, and the main mission didn't even have a cutscene. It was follow this person to a race and do the race. No cut. Like, you know how the start of the main mission races is like there's really cheesy cutscenes, and they all line up and they're like sizing each other. That wasn't there, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like Need for Speed. So I was just like, so I just yeah.
It's a series to me that I used to. I mean, anyone who owned a original PlayStation, the Xbox and the PS2, especially the Xbox and the PS2, dude, Underground
2 was so fucking good.
Just insanely good, man.
That was
I put
speed.
ridiculous amounts of hours into that. Like, go over to mates' houses and you'd all sit there and take your time. You'd do up your fucking car and wank up your Supra to ridiculous levels, all the crazy decals and that wicked soundtrack that they had.
Exactly. The soundtrack
cool.
is so average in this one too. It was like,
is it?
Yeah.
But just the whole series is kind of just like flatlined a little bit.
It really has. I'd like to see it come back to what it used to be, but I don't think it'll ever happen. So I noped out of that. I was doing this all on stream. I was like, you know what, guys, this is not doing it for me. So I noped out of that. And I had a great night this night. This is like Friday night or Thursday night or something. I had a great night. So I had a key from Keymailer for a game called Walking Zombie 2. This was by a smaller developer, and the graphics look interesting. It looked like, you walk around, you shoot the zombies, you do side missions and do fetch quests and stuff. It looked pretty basic, but a smaller developer. I like to kind of get some of those and give them a shot because you can find hidden gems like Damsel, which are absolutely fantastic. So, I'm always kind of on the lab just to kind of play a few to see what's going around. And so I got 25 minutes into this game. It's not bad. The graphics look okay. It was stable. It was basically go here, shoot zombies. It was pretty basic mission structure. And so I'm 25 minutes in. And then I get a notification come up on the screen. Hi, would you like to pay $10.99 for a package of never-ending fuel, because you need fuel to travel to different locations to do the side missions, and some other materials, so you don't have to deal with waiting or microtransactions in the game for the rest of life permanently. So it was a free-to-play game. Like, here, pay us $10. Like, this is after you've paid for 20 minutes. Like, pay us $10, and we'll give you free fuel, and you won't have to deal with microtransactions. If not, you'll be waiting for gameplay and paying microtransactions. It was worded nicely, but I was like, nah, I'm done. Out, bye. Good night, see ya. I instantly closed the game. I just Alt F4 that shit.
Dirty words, man.
Oh, it was.
See, now there is something to that though, that I reckon they could have done that where it might have worked. Well, for me.
Yeah, we'll see. I looked at this later, and they're selling it separately for $10. Like, they say you can have it for free, or you can buy the $10.99 edition, which comes with all the stuff.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
But for something that was like, kicking along playing, it was just kind of bam. It's like that, or you deal with microtransactions and waiting. I was like,
maybe if they had dragged it out and they got to get your hooks in, the hooks into you first before they ask.
Yeah, I barely got through the tutorial. Jesus. It's like, here, spend money on it. So I don't know.
No time. No time for lube.
Yep. So I was out of there real quick. And then I got into Age of Empires 2, which is something I've been meaning to do for weeks.
You had a fucking full-on night, didn't you?
I did. It was
this all in one night?
This was all.
Was this one night?
This is one night, I think.
Wow.
I might have started Age of Empires the next day. I think I noped out of the zombie game and then started Age of Empires the next day. I think that's how it went.
Now,
and I had a really good time.
Talk to me about Age. I love Age, man. Who doesn't from our generation love Age of Empires?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those games that was kind of always around when we were growing up. And I'd played one way back when I was a lot younger, and I don't even remember anything about it. I really just remember playing it. But it's really good.
Is it good? Because
the game system still hold up. The mechanics still hold up. I mean, I have Game Pass PC, so it's there for me. So
That's where I've seen it.
My wife's been playing it. I've seen a few streamers playing it as well that I watch, and I was like, I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm having a fucking blast, man. I've just got through. I'm about 3/4 of the way through my second campaign now.
Yep.
Or second
new...
batch of campaigns. So I'm doing the Joan of Arc campaign at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the definitive edition, which is the one I have, which comes with Game Pass, or you can buy separately, I think. Comes with updated graphics, new missions, a couple of extra campaigns. So there's a nice, neat little package there. And I don't think I've got onto the newer stuff yet, but it is really good, really well put together. The menus work fine, but it's good. It is really good.
That's sweet. Because I'm really keen on 4. I can't wait to see.
I'm really hoping 4's good.
I'm hoping they stay old school, like just.
Yes, they have to.
Watch it. Don't screw it up like they screwed up Command and Conquer. For the love of God, keep it.
Yes.
Keep it old, because it's a format and a formula that works so well.
It's like I went in like half-assed to it, and I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. Whatever. And I started it before stream. I was like, okay, I'll just play the tutorial, see how I feel about it, and I kept playing it, and I ended up being 20 minutes late because I was stuck in a campaign and I wanted to finish it so I could start on a new one.
So you've obviously played them before, yeah? Like ages ago?
Yeah, I played the first one.
Yeah.
Not 2, but I played the first one ages ago.
So have you ever played 3, Mythology? Because
no,
Mythology is my
I
favorite.
didn't play. No, I'd only ever played one, so I've never played Mythology. But
Mythology is my jam, dude. I love that one so much. Yeah,
see, back then I was really into Heroes of Might and Magic. That was my like real jam back then. So I played Age of Empires a couple of times, and that was about it. I think I borrowed it off a friend or something. But yeah.
Didn't you eat Kellogg's
cereal?
That? Didn't you eat Kellogg's cereal?
Nah, mate.
For those who don't,
I'm all about those Weetabix, mate.
We in Australia there was when was that? The 90s, was it?
Yeah, the 90s. It was like 97 when it came out.
If you bought certain brand cereal, the game would come with the cereal. Like you dig into the cereal box, and the game would be in there on the CD.
I got a flight simulator from that once. It's great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was hella good. Because I used to have I always used to use the joystick. So having the flight sim, it was awesome. I had my little joystick. I'd sit down like, fucking flying around and shit. It was good.
All right, we're turning into a retro podcast.
We are. Should we get on with the freebies and deals this week?
So let's move on. What have we got for free this week? Or actually, what deals do we have this week?
On the PlayStation Network freebies, we have Titanfall 2 and Monster Energy Supercross.
Still going to be there for another 3 weeks, people.
3 more weeks, which is good because, yeah, that's good. I was stressing about when Titanfall 2 was going away. Yeah, Titanfall 2 must download. Don't even question us. Just fucking do it. Deal of the week we don't have because somebody failed to put it on the run sheet, Gray.
It's underneath.
It's underneath. Oh, the PSN deals. Right, here we go. My bad. I'm so sorry.
New host, guys.
PSN deals this week. We have Thief for $4.55 and Concrete Genie for $24.95. Gray, you got anything on these?
Thief. Have you played Thief? The Thief series. It's an old series.
No, but I've heard of it.
Haven't played it? Awesome series. So Thief came out. It was one of the first PlayStation 4 games from a third party. I think it's Square Enix did it. So it's been out since the start of the generation. So it's definitely dated, but an awesome game. Super stealth game.
Kind of the Dishonored was inspired a lot by what they did, wasn't it?
Dishonored was very inspired. So I think Think Dishonored, but less. It's less killing, obviously. It was hampered at the time. I don't know if they fixed it with patches by the loading times and whatnot. They were horrid, absolutely horrid, transitioning from one part of the map into the next. They were pretty bad, but I'm sure they've fixed them. The other one, Concrete Genie. Now, I haven't played it personally. It is on my list of things to play. It is a 3D kind of platformer, third-person game where you take the role of I think you're a small child, I think. And you're right, the whole idea of the game is to paint this pretty much dead city, this dead grey city. And there's a lot more to it. Go check.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have. It is
Yeah.
it is some insane reviews. Like, it's pulling tens all around, and people are just really enjoying this game. And that's like from big publishers down to big reviewers, down to small reviewers. Everyone seems to be really enjoying it. So Concrete Genie, it's $24.95. Go catch a trailer of it, have a look. It's very artistic. It just looks really cool and something pretty different. So
nice. Over on the Xbox this week, games with gold are still Insane Robots and Toy Story 3. So get some Buzz and Woody action while you can. I think they change next week, or the one's added next week from memory.
You love some Buzz and Woody action.
I love some action, some Buzz action with my Woody. I mean,
that's right.
Anyway, on to deals with gold this week. We have We Are the Dwarves for $6. This is a tactical game where you play as a dwarven astronaut. So think like Lord of the Rings in weird space. It
Gimli
looks really cool. Gimli in space, yeah. But it looks really cool. The way the map is kind of laid out and you get around, it gives me like that Diablo vibe. So it's like kind of that semi top down, and you've got like different laneways. Yeah, it looks really cool. The other one we have this week is 39 Days to Mars. We're going with a bit of the space theme this week. So it's $12.
You skipped one. You went to the Switch.
Oh, I did too. Shit, I rolled up. My bad. I'm great at this podcasting thing, guys.
It's his first day,
so
people.
It's my first day. I've got jitters. So anyway, back to that's on Switch. We'll get back to that. Then we have Mirror's Edge Catalyst for $8, and it's fun. It's a parkour game. It's all about momentum, moving, and kicking dudes in the face and mid-air jumping off a wall. $8.
I love the first one. I didn't enjoy the second one as much. I love the first one so much. Platinumed it, and let me tell you, that shit there, it's like a 0.1% platinum rate on that game.
Yeah,
that's how freaky diggy hard it was, man. The time trials on those were so ridiculous. It was heaps of fun though. But definitely a cool game.
Yeah, Catalyst is great, and for $8, you can't go wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Now on the Switch, we'll start with the one I half started with, is 39 Days to Mars. It's $12. It's a 2D co-op and or single player puzzle game, and your goal is to get to Mars in 40 days. So you have to puzzle your way through building all these mechanics. It's like a stencil stick figure-ish steampunk kind of style to it. Like the drawing, it looks like very hand drawn. It looks really cool. Some interesting little puzzles. And basically, you've got to get in the air and get to Mars by like building all this different stuff. Yeah, nice and simple. Really cool. And the other one we have, again, space everywhere today, is 60 Parsecs for $9. This one's an adventure game where the world is blown up with nuclear war, and you and a few other survivors get to a space station. Now, when you're at the space station, they aim a nuke at you, and you have a limited amount of time to collect your resources, choose your traveling buddies, and GTFO. And then you fly in space until you hit a planet. And that's like the end of the thing. And so you have to manage this crew through. It's basic click command kind of stuff. So it's all right. We're gonna do this. It's almost a text adventure, but it does have the animation stuff. But it's that kind of style of games, right? So this is the situation. This is what we're gonna do. This is the tools we're gonna use to do it. And reacts to your choices from there.
That's pretty cool.
It determines the outcome of the crew and what happens. So people will die, you all die. It sounds really cool. It's just a really kind of unique take on things. I like that.
How fast did the Millennium Falcon do it in?
Oh man, my brain. It's under 12. Under 12.
Is it? I don't know. I can't remember.
I think. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Come at me. I think it was under 12 parsecs. They did the run.
Dude, Chewie, he'd be spewing.
He would be.
If you get that.
And on the Epic Store, weirdly enough, we have the same game as last week, which is Yoton Valhalla Edition. So
I checked that. The 13th it runs out on.
The 13th. So you've got a few days to get there as day of recording. So
yep.
Yeah. On to news and updates this week. Yeah, you know what to do. Jump in if you would like and let us know what you think. First one is, would you like to know more? Starship Troopers is the wonderful film, has been adapted as a real-time strategy game for PC. Titled Starship Troopers Terrain Command, the RTS promises a mix of classic real-time mechanics, tower defense, and tactical unit deployment. According to the publisher Slytherin, Starship Troopers Terrain Command is set in the same universe established in the 1997 film, and the strategy game will send players back to the human colony overrun by arachnids, the alien insectoid race that attacks in massive swarms. Players, as the mobile inventory, will have to take advantage of choke points and elevation to fend off the arachnid threat. I am so down for this.
Yeah, it tickled me excited. That sounds
as long as it has the humor in there, I'm fucking sold, man.
Yeah,
I love that movie. It was so good.
It's a cult movie now. That Starship Troopers. They is there a trailer or anything for this, or is it just
no, it was just an announcement. There has been other games based in this universe before, based on the books, I think it was before, which what the films are based on. But the big one about this is Slytherin are a big RTS kind of developer. They're quite well known in that world for doing really good games. So I think the last few games weren't as crash hot, so they've picked up the license and looks like they're going to do something really, really fun with it.
I hope so. With a name like that, straight out of the Harry Potter universe, I expect big things from that company.
I'm sorry. I'm being corrected. It's not RTS. They do war games. So thank you, Stormy, our resident strategy specialist.
That's right. You can't mess with that man. He knows them all.
He knows it. So yeah, that's cool. I like it. We've got a bit to get through this week too. Lots of news. It's great. I also should stop rolling my mouse wheel. I lose things. So the next one off the rank is there's 10 new projects being announced at the Game Awards this year. So while the Game Awards is primarily an award show, many enjoy it for the reveals and kind of trailers and announcements that often kind of come with it. Especially since it falls in like the slightly slower time of the year in terms of gaming news and all that kind of stuff. We need that content, basically, is what that translates to. And this year won't be any different. Jeff Keenley revealed in a Reddit AMA that roughly 10 new games and projects will be revealed at the ceremony. That being said, if you're expecting to see something about the potentially leaked Resident Evil 3, which we all know Gray is really excited for, you may want to curb your expectations, as he's claiming it's not going to be there. Interesting though, he also mentioned that nothing from the show has actually been leaked so far.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
Dude, he's got that on lockdown.
Or he's bluffing and it's all been leaked and he's just throwing it in the air.
Why not? Hey, why not? Right, if you're sitting back and it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it coming or is it not? Am I lying? Am I telling the truth? Who knows?
Well, so there were 10 unannounced projects. I don't even. I don't think all of them will be big games and big things. A lot of them will be small things
honestly,
as well.
I don't think any of them are going to be large games. Apart from Resident Evil 3 Remake, which until Sony announced their state of play that they're going to do in next week or whatever it is, you know, I was like, man, that the box art has come out. Like, surely it's ready to go.
Is that confirmed that is the box art though? Or
Yeah,
is it,
it was put. Yeah, because they pulled it off the PlayStation Store. Like, that's where the image came from. It's like doesn't get on there by freaking accident. An image they pulled up, whatever. But then he's obviously come out and said that's not going to be announced. Is he lying? Maybe.
Could be, maybe.
Who knows?
Although I don't know why
Maybe
he'd have
not.
a reason to.
No, me neither.
Unless
But
it's
now
any
that
major leagues.
because State of Play is coming out now, I'm like, okay, well, maybe Resident Evil, since it's going on the State of Play thing. But for this, man, I don't know. I don't see them doing anything. Like, it's just we're too close to the next
generation.
Like,
unless people announcing games for the next gen. I mean, they could have things in the works. So, hey, here's the working title. It may, I don't know. It could just be hardware too.
Yeah, they could do that.
He's like, all right, guys, we're working on this game. That kind of first initial announcement you get of a brand new IP.
See, none of them, all them publishers, man, would be under lock and key between Microsoft and Sony, not allowed to say anything about what they're making until they come out with the consoles first, so they make their announcement.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, they're not going to come out and... well, they might announce it, but they should.
They won't tell you when it's coming out. They won't show anything. They'll just say, hey, this is a game we're doing. Get excited.
Yeah. I think this could be maybe some VR stuff. Could be Switch stuff. There could be a lot of Nintendo things on there as well.
Yeah, very true, yeah.
Maybe some PC. Maybe some PC exclusive games. Who knows?
Epic Store exclusives.
Oh, could you imagine? And in that Microsoft voice too.
Yeah.
World premiere. Epic Store. Like, ooh, that would just fucking...
That would...
you would feel the internet light up on fire.
Half of it would light on fire, the other half would heave. So you just have this heaving, flaming mess of internet, which I mean is not any different from a normal Thursday, but it would just be especially momentous.
It's much like Tuesday evenings.
Yeah. All right, so
yeah,
that's cool.
Do we know we're gonna have to go next week? What the time and date is for this?
Yeah,
I don't know what time and date it is.
Not off the top of my head.
No.
We'll get that out.
That would be good to get that.
We may even do it live. Do a reactions cast, maybe. We'll see.
You could.
We'll see what the time is, because normally it's in the States and it's not like some
the States, it's like
4 in the morning.
Stupid o'clock.
Yeah.
Generally,
it's normally my bedtime. But yeah, we'll think on that. We'll see what time it is. We might do something maybe. Next one is about U.S. Representative Duncan Hunter has some seriously wonderful priorities. He will be resigning from Congress. This is in the U.S. I think I said U.S. Representative. I can't remember. After pleading guilty of charges of misusing over $250,000 US in campaign funds, including just over $1,500 he spent on Steam games. What a legend. I mean, what a scumbag, but what a legend. I just thought it's really funny. He went on to like blame his wife and child as well, which was really bizarre. In the court case. Games. No, for buying the games or having some involvement in it. So his wife's under investigation as well. I just thought it was funny.
Oh man,
it's like Kevin Rudd going to a strip club, but safe for work. It's just one of those stories, man. I just saw it and had a bit of a giggle. I mean, what games does he buy with that much? I mean, aside from all of them, that's a lot of games. I mean, that's like.
That is a lot of games.
That's over 150.
Especially
games,
if he picked it up in a summer sale.
Maybe that's what it was. He spent $1.5.
Maybe that's what it was. He did. He just went like a lunatic and just like, I will play this and this and this, and actually I won't play any of it, but I'd like to have it in my library.
He just went to his local town hall and said, "All right, guys, choose a game each," and then just hit buy all on the wish list.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine done. Onto the next one. Halo is reaching new records. Halo has finally made the big splash back onto PC. With the release of the Master Chief Collection on Steam, and the Microsoft Store. And in case there was any doubt that PC gamers want it and want it bad, the collection is currently the #1 selling game on Steam, while standalone Halo Reach holds down third place. The Master Chief Collection player count is also skyrocketing. 6 hours after launch, concurrent player count was up to 148,000, which is good enough for third place in the top 100, even though these games are years old. So to quickly that emphasizes PC games who missed out on them during the Xbox exclusive days would very much like to get caught up. That's some busy work there. That's a lot of downloads. I mean, within the first like hour, 45 minutes, this was already in the top 30 or something of downloads on Steam.
But it makes sense that it is.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like
any game they put on there that has anything has a bit of either it's a bit old and it's got that prestige about it is obviously going to skyrocket up the charts because one, it was pretty cheap. It wasn't like they were paying full fledged.
No, it was like $40 AU for all the Halo games. I think that was on both stores,
Reach, wasn't it?
And then like $10-15 for Reach separately, which is how I think they're gonna how they were gonna do it. Was like each new one they own, it's like $15 like a DLC, which is fine because each of those because they remastered them. Because I forgot to tell you, I also played Reach this week.
So done.
I went, yeah, and felt good, man. Like I was adjusting to playing it on mouse and keyboard, which was terrible to watch. I played some PvP and I played some Firefight. It was great. Loved it. Translated really well.
Did you play the campaign?
First-person shooter. No, I haven't played the campaign again yet. I've played it originally.
Yeah, I've played it. But it's so hard, man. When you go on because I've already played it. It was quite a long time ago, 9 years ago now, whatever it is that came out. But when you go from Call of Duty that's just come out to this,
it's a different pace.
It is so jarring. No, well, not only pace-wise, but graphically, the differences obviously are insane. But there's also some weird things, man. Bungie did back then, like Bloom was a big one. Bloom in your shots is just weird.
Still a big one in any Bungie game.
First-person shooters, like why can you just get rid of it? Like, especially on a mouse and keyboard, it's just weird.
Yeah.
You got precision shots for a reason.
Man, I was lucky if I was hitting precision
crouch
shots the way I was going.
Like you got to stop and crouch, and then getting shot, pulling you out of zoom, out of scope when you get shot is just odd.
I don't mind it. It was good though. I had fun.
Oh yeah, it was good. If I did the first two levels before I went, okay, I'm just gonna sit there and I might get back to it. But yeah. It is. It was. I think Reach was the better out of the Halos.
No. I'm a classic CE. I love the first one, man. Too much. There's so much nostalgia tied in it. I mean, I know, but I don't give a shit. The first one's still the best.
Don't get me wrong. The first three were awesome. They always will be. But I have always enjoyed Reach for some reason more.
Yeah, but that's really cool. I'm glad Halo's doing well for itself because that Master Chief Collection was off to a shaky start when it came out. It was having all kinds of issues, and they've been working on it till up until now, and still working on it. Like it's vastly improved from what it was. Because I remember when it first came out, the matchmaking was a fucking nightmare. It was the whole thing was just a mess.
Well, they removed it, didn't they? They took it down. It was that
they took it down for a while and reworked it entirely. But yeah, it's good. I'm glad Halo's doing well. You know, they've got Infinite coming out, and apparently that's supposed to be like based off a lot of fan feedback of what they want in the game. Because Halo 4's story was pretty good, the multiplayer was there, and then Halo 5's multiplayer was okay, and then the story was So they're having some getting that kind of balance right of what people want. So I'm excited for the new one. I think it'll be good. Hopefully.
I think Infinite is going to be something completely different to what people are expecting.
Yeah, probably.
That's why they haven't shown anything yet. I think it's going to be really awesome, but more. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot bigger than what
Yeah.
people are thinking.
Definitely.
Yeah, it won't be linear.
God no.
Hopefully.
Onto the next story. Sony Worldwide Studios will not be making any cross-generation games, and a good amount of the PS5 games will be exclusive, which is something we kind of knew about. They'd spoken about it before, but recently on a Kotaku podcast, Jason Schreier, our Lord and Savior, was quoted saying, I've heard some of the PS4 launch titles. I won't say them as yet. I'm probably going to do a report on that stuff in the future, but those will be the only PS5 only. Oh, those will be PS5 only. Some of the stuff I've heard about that is PS5 only. So they're focusing on those exclusives, which is what they said they were going to do. So I'm not 100% surprised.
Have you? Oh, you wouldn't have said. So this over the last 24 hours since this came out has kind of gone a bit crazy on social media, with a lot of people, with quite a big following, just really getting their nose out of joint, going, you know, how bad this is for PlayStation and
It's not though.
all these other fucking things. And it's just like, man, are you like, I'm losing brain cells reading your tweets, like, and reading what you're on about, and then I'm losing even more brain cells reading what your followers are replying to, because it's so idiotic. And some of the counter arguments people put up, it's just like, okay, so the issue a lot of people seem to be struggling, and in a few of them, and I mean, because like some of these people that I was reading these from have like a shit ton of followers, heaps. Like they're not a small little tiny YouTuber or something like that. They're quite well known within the community.
Yeah.
Jason Schreier has actually chimed in on some of these threads and going, "No, you're wrong. Like that's not the full thing that you guys are doing. Is totally like
dong. Your opinion is wrong."
Yeah. So the issue is, what do you think about this? Hear me out.
Yeah.
I want you, like, do you want the next Xbox to release Xbox Scarlet, whatever it's going to be, and then for the exclusive game to be released on the Xbox or PC as well, whatever? Do you want that to come onto the Xbox? Well, hang on, Xbox One. Sorry, it's getting confusing.
Yeah.
So do you want that game to be cross-generation? Do you want it to go both? Or do you want Xbox, the new Xbox, to have that exclusive game at its best potential?
I'd rather that, honestly. Yeah, I don't, it's whatever. I mean, like, I know, like, Microsoft's probably a shitty example because I know they're trying to do the whole branch everyone together, play anywhere on any system kind of thing. But I mean, it's happened before where we've had games kind of cross both. I mean, let's look at Destiny. It went over the Xbox 360, PS3 to PS4, Xbox One generation, and it caused it issues in the long term. They were having issues with vault space and all those kind of things, and made things harder to work on and eventually they had to leave the old generations behind because it was holding the game back in its entirety. They couldn't go any further. So I mean, I'm fine with it. You know, PlayStation 5 games are PlayStation 5. It's whatever. I mean, if they end up figuring a way to have it so it's still a quality game and they can have it in the old generation, sure, cool, that's awesome. But if it's going to hold back the potential of a new game, why bother?
Okay, so that's good. You and I are on the exact same page. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's been
I understand why people are
upset.
It has happened where we've had games that have crossed the generations, but it's why not have a better quality game for it?
See, and the thing with the whole thing with Xbox, and I understand the reasoning behind what Phil Spencer is saying, how no one gets left behind. You know, it doesn't matter if you're on the 360, you're on the Xbox One, you're on the Xbox X, you're on the Project Scarlet, whatever it is. That works with xCloud.
Yeah,
with the streaming service. That's how that works. That's how no one gets left behind, because it doesn't matter what console you're on, you can still stream the game and play it. What it doesn't work is you can't have a fucking Xbox One. The Scarlet game will not work on a 360.
Yeah.
So a big thing I've seen in these threads and these people that are like, they're like, oh, it's just, but all these consoles are just made up of all computer parts and you can just scale it down. It's like, it's not on a slider. Like you can't just go and we'll scale that all the way back for PlayStation 4 and we'll scale that back for the Switch and we'll scale it all the way down and stick it on your fucking Samsung phone. It's not how it works. It's like,
no,
you know, it's a hardware leap, especially like these consoles are what, 7 years old?
Yeah, like the improvements they'd have to make
tech, man,
to make it work. Like, yeah, it's good. They need to rework the systems, and that's the way it is. Like every generation are very different in the way they're built as well, because they find new way to do things, more efficient way to do things. I mean, look at the old Xboxes with the power bricks. They're no more. They've found a way to shrink all that down and make that work functionally. And finally, like that's and I mean finally, right? And that's something small that doesn't entirely perfect the performance, but things like that are happening with the entire system. So there's always improvements to be made, and why not have the best hardware to get the best experience out of a game?
Exactly. And like you think about when you're promoting a new console, it's like you want experiences like games and that VR experiences, whatever, that you can only play on that. Like you want the latest and the best, you've got to go purchase this. Like
exactly,
third-party games are gonna have cross support. Like it's gonna happen because they're publishers and they want to maximize their profits. They're gonna go, all right, we will sacrifice the quality of the newest generation to fit back down into the older generation because of the player base. The first-party studios that these big companies own, that PlayStation and Xbox own,
that's what sells.
Are going to eat that loss. They're going to be like, right, well, we don't want you to rescale that back. We want you to put all your team, all your efforts into pumping out the biggest and best that you can on this console to sell units for us. We can cut a fucking sick trailer from what you've shown, like, and that's how we'll move units.
Trailer from you know, this console, you know, this brand new console, and it looks really good. People are really excited, and yeah, you need those games, those big games that are the first party ones, because they're the ones that sell the consoles.
Yeah, and they're not. It's like there's such a big trickle-on effect from that. It brings in like bigger friend, like your friend. You tell your friends about it, and your community grows, and it's just that's how the console grows, and then ultimately, that's how you sell the software, because that's where they make their money. They all sell these consoles at a loss. None of them are selling it at a profit.
No, like they get money from you buying and playing games and using the services. That's how this works.
Yeah, exactly.
They eat the loss on the console to get you into their ecosystem.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're on the same page, but I'm telling you, mate, a quick search on Twitter and you will see some very dense mother truckers out there.
Oh, God.
But
I may do this after the cast. I might grab some popcorn
go follow, yeah,
drink.
Go check out.
I'll get some 3D glasses, and I'll just sit here and have a good time.
It is a trip. You go into there and you're just like, all right, guys, I'm going to back out very easily here.
So our last news item on the list today, also concerning PlayStation, is that the state of play for the final one for this year airs on Tuesday, December 10th. In a post on the PlayStation blog, the year is almost over, but we've got one more state of play to share with you. It is Tuesday, December 10, 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern, and if you can watch it live on Twitch, YouTube, Face, or Twitter, we've got around 20 minutes of new game reveals, release date announcements, new gameplay footage, PlayStation Worldwide Studio updates, and more. And it probably bears repeating, don't expect any updates related to our next-gen plans in this episode. So they're talking about games and things. That'll be cool. 20 minutes of trailers. That's always fun.
They so I've got a big criticism with when these two teams try to do this, because none of them can match the directs. So when with the XO19 or their whatever they call their one and this PlayStation one, they're always cringy. They're always weird. And what
some people like that
these
though.
Guys now, and I know, yeah, some people do. It's totally fine. I just find them weird and just off.
Yeah.
But what they've done now, thankfully and finally, is they're kind of setting expectations where they literally come out here and say, do not expect any updates on the next gen stuff. Like, that's it.
Well, I mean, we're at that point of the year where people like, we've heard stuff like, we want news, they're hungry for it. And if they said, oh yeah, state of play, 20 minutes, new trailers, whatever, people will just like, PlayStation, new one, we're getting an announcement, and it'd be everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
News outlets, gaming news outlets, Twitter would be just like, PlayStation 5 announcement coming 10th of December. And then it wouldn't come, and then the internet would be an absolute shit show again.
Yeah. So it is good that they've done this, finally. Thank you. I'm glad that they've... I would be quite happy with them just to actually kind of not... Maybe just come out and just tell us what we're going to get. Don't name it name for name, but just like be even more specific than what they are. Nintendo are pretty good. They'll leave their hints up what you're going to get. Yeah, we'll see. What I don't know what they're gonna cough up though. So this is where I've put Resident Evil Nemesis into here.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it is a original PlayStation game. It has a home there. It'd make sense that it is on there. I don't know if that means they've got some weird times exclusive deal with, but I doubt they would. Maybe they do.
Maybe they do. Who knows?
I don't think so. Resident Evil 2 wasn't. That was for everyone. But they did show off Resident Evil 2 at PlayStation's E3 2 years ago. That's where it was revealed at.
Yeah.
So it does make sense that it would be on here.
Yeah, last one for the year. Go out with a bang. Because they won't have one for a couple of months afterwards.
Honestly, this would probably be it until they do their February thing and announce You know what I'm taking this from Twitter. I've seen someone else say this on Twitter. Do you know what would be a fucking bang away to close this? Because you know how I'm always like, how they got to end the show. These shows need to go out with a
big bang,
something to cheer for. All right, so imagine this. They've got their 25, they've just had their 25 years of PlayStation stuff, the 25-year anniversary. Have finished the updates, do all their cool stuff, whatever it is, and then cut to their trailer that's showing off the old PlayStation games and counting down and whatnot, how cool it's been the last 25 years. And then count it down: PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and then the final thing is PS5, and then cut.
Yeah.
Just leave it. Just show off the PlayStation 5 logo, whatever it is, because it's going to be obviously very similar to PlayStation 4's logo.
Yeah,
boom, that's it.
I'm done, and never say anything.
Or just flash up.
It.
Yeah, just say, or it could just flash up 2020.
Yeah,
that would be fucking cool. Imagine that.
That'd be a way to do it. That'd be good.
That'd be hyping. You'd be excited to watch that.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're probably not. They're probably going to go out with a Doritos ad.
Maybe.
Because why not?
Maybe they have a PlayStation 5 flavor.
Well, either that or Doritos is the new Monster Energy. They've signed in for the next PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, PlayStation 5 is shaped like a Dorito.
Featuring Doritos. Yeah.
It's just weird.
Just Nathan Drake just munching on Doritos.
I think that'll do us for the night, dude.
Sounds
good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, who are you? Where are you?
Graz Gamer over on YouTube. Go over if you haven't already and have a look. You will find interesting, and if not, you can always catch me over on Twitter. Awesome. What about yourself?
I am Deft Puppies. You will find me on Twitter, Mixer, Instagram, Deft_Puppies. If you would like to get in contact with the cast, you can find us at Twitter on @left_pod. You can also find us here 9 p.m. AEST every Sunday night on Mixer at mixer.com/deft_puppies. Don't forget, join our Discord. Get in there, meet some of the wonderful people we have in there, have a conversation, talk about video games, find some people to play with, do all the fun stuff. Don't forget also, please, it helps us, rate, review, tell your mum. I mean, she knows who we are, but tell her anyway.
And he winked to the camera.
Hey, I got this down pat. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening. As always, the last few weeks we will get back with the schedule on what's happening when we're having some downtime for Christmas holidays and such. Once we work that out ourselves, we will let you know. But until then, we shall see you next week.
That you will.
There you go. Bye.